Hello everyone, and welcome to my Advanced Prototype PvP guide. Alright, so first things first, let's talk about gearing and stats. So, a lot of people ask me how I gear my PT, and I just kind of gear it with the gear I get, basically. However, I do use the Alacrity earpieces, and both of my implants are Alacrity as well. Whenever I get gear from the vendor or those wonderful crates we all love, I don't change any of the enhancements. However, I do get rid of the accuracy ones and replace them with a crit enhancement. Once I hit a 45% crit chance, then I start replacing my critical augments with either power or alacrity. The reason I go for 45% is because when I hit my explosive fuel window, it boosts me up to 70% crit chance. So pretty much just crit everything, during that window, and it's really nice because you can kill kids. Alright, now for utilities. So these are the utilities that I take when I have a healer. If I don't have a healer, then I'll take one out of Masterful and I'll put it into the shoulder cannon heal down in Legendary. Because even though the heal from shoulder cannon is small, it still helps keep you alive, when you need it. But it's worth taking. And just kind of look through them all because there are some really good ones in there, but these are the ones that I use. And for my favorite part of Advanced Prototype is this burst window with explosive fuel. So this is the rotation that I use. I mean, with explosive fuel, you're up to like 70% crit chance, and it's just beautiful, man. It really is. And so in the next slide, I have the Vanguard equivalent for the skills. That way, you can see the the correlation, I guess, between the two classes. All right. So when your burst window with the explosive fuel is not up, you gotta use a rotation kinda. But it's more like a priority rotation with Advanced Prototype. So basically, you always want to keep Retractable Blade on the target, and you want to use Thermal Detonator over Rocket Punch over Rail Shot over Magnetic Blast. And you want to save your shoulder cannon for when your explosive fuel window is up and ready to go. As far as energy burst, usually I can do 1 force stack with the set proc, then I'll do another 4 stack without the proc. And depending on if my explosive fuel window is coming up, then I'll save that next 4 stack. But if you still got a while, may as well use another one because you don't want to waste the proc. Yeah, that's basically it. Just Thermal Detonator, Rocket Punch, Rail Shot, Magnetic Blast. That's the kind of priority order you want to go with for the spec. So a really cool part about Power Techs is they have 2 hard stuns. You got Carbonize and you got Electro Dart. And with the utility, Electro Dart will full white bar somebody if you use it first. So what you got to do is you have to do Carbonize first, and then you do Electro Dart. But you want to try to make the person break the Carbonize stun. That way they eat the full 5 seconds from Electro Dart. So in order to do that, you want to use your Carbonize probably around the time the thermal that explosion goes off. That way there's a lot of stuff going on, and the person on the other side of the computer is like, oh no, what do I do? So they'll break it, and then you hit them with that Electro Dart. It's like GG, they're dead. It's great. It takes a little bit of practice, but once you kind of figure out the flow of it, it works really well, and it works a lot. You'd be surprised how many people break on the first stun. Alright, so now it's time to go over our defenses, and I use that term loosely because our defenses are, kind of terrible. So here we go. You got your Sonic Missile, which gives you 30% chance to resist things after you use it in Advanced Prototype, which is great. And I've resisted knockbacks, I've resisted stuns, nets. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens enough times to where you definitely want to use it, especially at the beginning of a fight and throughout the fight. whenever it comes off cooldown. Energy shield, it reduces damage taken by 25%, so I like to use it once I hit around like an 80% mark in my health. But if I'm taking a lot of damage, I'm gonna pop it because it's nice to have that damage reduction. As far as Kolto Overload, I mean it heals you, you know, a little bit. But if you're popping it, you're probably already dead, so good luck with that. Just kind of use it near the end and just kind of pray that no one can burst through it. But one thing to remember with your Kolto Overload is that don't use your med pack after you use it, because then you're kind of wasting both cooldowns. So what you gotta do is use your med pack once Kolto finishes, you know, ticking. That way it gives you that little extra heal. And also one thing to remember, as Advanced Prototype, you take 30% less damage when you're stunned. So whenever you're stunned, you kind of have to gauge for yourself, can you mitigate more damage by breaking and getting out of there? Or can you mitigate more damage by just taking it, you know, and then once it's done, and then you go and kill the person that was doing it. But for me, I usually don't break a stun. I'll wait, because 30% less damage is really nice, especially if they stun you when your energy shield is up. It's like you're not taking any damage at that point, and your healer can, you know, heal you back up. It's pretty sweet. But those are the defenses we have, so yeah, good luck, guys. Alright guys, that's basically it. Here are some tips I thought of as I was writing this guide that I see people do, or don't do, rather, but just kind of read this over. I mean, it's good stuff, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and good luck with your power tech.